Well, you can't say I don't read the YouTube comments. Welcome to the Daily Neitz, daily look at classic films, modern cinema, and the world of professional wrestling. And today I'm looking at the 1963 Indian film, The Big City. Earlier in the year, I want to say January, February, I watched a trilogy called the Apu Trilogy, which is three Bengali films by the director Satyajit Ray. I think I'm pronouncing that wrong. And they really stood out to me, these three films, because I wasn't expecting to enjoy them. The subject matter is not really in my wheelhouse. At the time, I wasn't a big fan of foreign films as much. I didn't always get them. But these movies spoke to me in a way that I wasn't expecting. And I couldn't stop saying my praises. You can go back and watch those videos. I really enjoyed them while I was watching them, and earlier this week I had a gentleman comment on one of them, which you're allowed to do, by the way. And he said you should check out other movies by Ray. Check out his other movies. He had a list of 10 movies. I think some other directors were in there too. But one of them, The Big City, I had heard about before, and I knew it was on Hulu already, and I turned it on today and gave it a watch. And yeah, good movie. There's something about this director and the way he works. I believe he also writes and produces his own movies as well. The way he builds and casts and writes these characters, that on paper, the subject matter is to me. Even with this movie, this one was about a woman in a traditional household who realizes she needs to go get a job or they're not going to have any money. Her husband's work isn't paying for everything anymore, so she needs to help. But this goes against, all the traditions in her family about the women need to stay home and work in the house, and the men go out and provide for the family. But she does it anyway, and even when her husband loses his job, she asks for a raise within minutes and gets it. And she finds that freedom and independence that she didn't have. And by the end, they're both jobless, her and her husband, but they're together in that situation, and they're willing to work together for their family. And it's something that doesn't seem like it's going to make for an entertaining movie, because it's a real-world problem, real-world situation that happens every day. But I think that's what's so magnetic about some of these characters, is that we can see ourselves in them. I wasn't born in the 20s or 30s in India. I never lived in Calcutta. American traditions are very, very different. But I could still see myself in these characters, and I've been through those struggles. I don't want to say I felt emasculated by not being the breadwinner in my household, but there is a weird feeling about it when those situations happen. Love you.
Love you too.
And it's part of living with somebody else and having a family. And I could see myself in the husband, and I could see a little bit of Cody in the wife. And my parents don't live here, my sister doesn't live here, we don't have a son that lives here, so it's a little bit less pressure, we just have the cats. But still, I could see myself in these characters, even though we're half a world apart. And there's so much humanity and emotion in the acting as well. Ray casts the perfect actors to play these roles, because every little look in their eyes and everything tells the story. I didn't need to know, the history of India and what their cultures were or anything like that to understand what these characters are going through on the screen, because it's all in their eyes and it's all in their faces, and it's told so well that this simple everyday scenario that families go through all the time can be so engaging through the acting and the writing. And there are definitely some great lines. That also goes down to translation. I'm reading subtitles here. But yeah, it was very, very well written story. Highly, highly recommend it to anyone interested, I guess, in foreign film, Bengali film. Very, very talented director. And I will return to his work in the future, because I think he has a few more that are in the Criterion Collection on the Hulu. And I really like his work. I think I explained that well enough. Sure. Yeah, that's all I got to say at the moment about The Big City. Just great movie. Tomorrow, diving into Roger Ebert's Great Movies Book 2 with, I believe, 12 Angry Men. Yeah, so this should be a good time. But until then, you can like, share, and subscribe. You can also leave a comment in the comment section below. I do read them and usually respond. So do that. You can also follow me on Twitter at Daily Neitz. And until tomorrow, bye.